Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to Miami Heat Beat Podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, we got Alphonse Sidney.
I hate when I don't hear the intro music.
You don't hear the did you not hear it?
No. It just happens every once in a while. I just don't hear the shit.
Strange. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Hi.
Is the show started?
Yeah, no, we're live. We're on. We're fucking on.
I don't believe you.
We're on.
I wish I had a
on.
cigarette. Like I don't believe you.
The Alf meme with the do-rag.
Oh, that was another dark time in Heat history. I think that was a post-COVID season.
The darkest time in Heat history was when you were in the locker room with a mohawk having a midlife crisis.
Oh God, that was so bad.
Talking to Josh Richardson.
With gray hairs in my mohawk.
Also joining us today is Franky.
Divorce will do that to you. But anyway, I used to get designs in my head. It should have just said divorced. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, when Spoke comes out with that next year, it's gonna be crazy. Man. You guys could have bonded. You were too late. You were too late.
Spo has the bags under his eyes that say divorce.
Yeah. Divorce or newborn child. It's a blurry line. Well, listen, we're all here not for a joyous occasion. There's a lot wrong in the world right now. There are bombs going off in the Middle East like it's 2008. And
that's just Terry Rozier.
The Miami Heat once again struck out on a superstar. Some things never change. Superstar in air quotes. I say that as Kevin Durant.
Did Trump sidestep into a war?
Well, Trump claimed that there was a ceasefire, and apparently there's not a ceasefire. So a lot of information going out. Who knows what's true anymore?
So he's pump faking open shots.
He's the true Terry Rozier. So they strike out on Kevin Durant. The Miami Heat very publicly have been trying to get Kevin Durant. This is like the third or fourth time, if I'm not mistaken, that they strike out on him. Putting what seemed to be a pretty unserious offer. And if you're a pod listener who's not very online, I commend you, and you must live a better life than us. But, the Heat have been kind of dragged for filth by everybody, by Heat fans, by Gambo of Arizona radio, by every ESPN host.
That Gambo guy he's taken off.
That Gambo guy,
Twitter.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, no, he's number one Heat Twitter ally. I mean, he's just ripping the organization for filth. You would think he was part of the basement. Shout out to Royal Shepherd. The way that he's talking about the front office.
They had it first.
They had it first. They did. They were first on this. And really the carnage in the wake of the Heat once again striking out on Kevin Durant, who went to the Houston Rockets the day of Game 7 of the Finals, is Alf. People are upset because they feel like the Heat either did not actually care enough for Durant by overvaluing pieces that the fans, and they actually allege the Heat don't even view that as that good. Niko Jovic, their picks, what have you. Or you have people that are like, why are the Heat wasting our time as fans by lowballing once again an offer? Either you're serious or you're not. Alf, I think you and I are both in agreement. We did not want him for the price that it would have taken to get him. But there's a lot going on right now. And I don't think the fans are wrong for that. I don't think the fans are wrong for being upset because it feels like the Heat don't have a position right now.
I think that's where the anger comes from, right? The anger comes from because there's no direction. If everyone felt like the Heat were going in a certain way, you could either agree or disagree with it. But what's happening now is like fans who want KD get excited, fans who don't want KD don't get excited. Then you find out they didn't even really make a serious offer. And then you find out the reason they didn't make a serious offer is because they overvalue Jovic. And it might really be because they didn't want to do a pick swap. Is a pick swap a really big deal? Like the thing is, like, if you go into a negotiation for Kevin Durant because you feel like your team is close and Kevin Durant will get you over the hump, then be fucking serious about your offer. Walk in there with the intention of walking out with Kevin Durant. They walked in there with the intention of these motherfuckers going to take whatever deal I asked them to, right? And somebody put it on the timeline. I had said it somewhere else. That Jimmy trade got them fucked up. It really did. And Frankie, you shout out the Twitter user. I can't remember his name.
I'll find it.
But like that shit got them fucked up. They think that this is going to be that easy every single time. And like they've done it time after time where like the Magic wanted Desmond Bane and they went and got Desmond Bane. Right? The Heat don't do that. The Heat didn't do that for Dame. There's always this line in the sand they won't cross. And it's like, since when? Since when does Riley have lines in the sand like that? Riley used to be bold. He used to have some balls. He used to go out there and do these crazy trades. He blew up an Eastern Conference Finals team. And this is why I keep going back to like, let's stop with this 100% blame Riley for everything. There's an entire front office that makes all these decisions together. And I think the reason there is no direction is because there's too many fucking voices. There's too many competing voices that want to do. Somebody wants to do a youth movement. Spo's over here asking for Terry Rozier. Who the fuck needs Terry Rozier in the middle of a youth movement, right? Some people, they like their team. They think they're close. They have enough. What the fuck is going on? What is the direction? And that's what the fan base is really upset. If they came out and said, hey, listen, we have to do what we have to do to right the ship and blah, blah, blah. They don't even have to say it. The moves will tell you. But the conversation, getting into the Kevin Durant conversation tells you one thing. Then the offer tells you another thing. And then now you're sitting here like, what the fuck are we going to do? Because to me, it was like, if they went into this thing and they didn't even talk up to Phoenix about Kevin Durant, and they said there's no reason to talk to him about because we have to go in a different direction, then there'd be nothing to get upset about right now. But the fact that they went into that conversation, you're like, okay, well, maybe they're going for it, but they're not. So now you're left with, you don't get Kevin Durant. You know they're about to extend Tyler Hero. They're about to go probably make a fucking move for somebody like DeMar DeRozan. And all you see is 3 to 4 more years of fucking mediocrity. Instead of them saying something like, hey, we're trading Tyler Hero for 4 picks. That would clear sign everybody. This is what the fuck we're doing.
Shit, I take
But no.
too.
But there's none of that, right? All there is mixed messages and a bunch of fucking blue balls every time they go into a fucking trade meeting.
Mixed messages, blue balls? Sounds
Yes.
like a Tinder date.
But
The user was TB Prime 28. He responded to Barry Jackson. He said, think the Butler trade fried their brain. They were able to get a top superstar for pennies on the dollar, and they believe they could do a heist like that again. I
don't think the Durant thing was. I don't think the Durant thing is that specifically, but I agree with that sentiment.
no, G, they went in there with some lowball bullshit offer. Like I think we have. I think that we have the final offer that was reported.
Yeah, it was. It
you're
was
not
Wiggins,
Yeah.
Rozier, Jaquez, Highsmith, and the 20th pick.
Come on.
Barry and Shams have said that they need, if they added another future first swap and Jovic, it could have gotten done. But I mean, the thing is, like, if you're not serious, like, I love Jovic and stuff, but like, it's exactly what Brendan Tobin said. If you're not going to come, like, there is a fundamental disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff, because if Jovic is this high prize possession, you haven't extended him. You haven't really talked about extending him. He doesn't play. He was the first scapegoat in the Terry Rozier lineup when it didn't work. He went from starting to DMPs, coaches' decisions, and there's no consistency with that. And I fully agree with you, Alf. The 5 voices is too many voices, too many cooks in the kitchen, and they're going for gumbo, and it's tasting all the seasonings ruined. All the seasoning, too much seasoning, too much salt. It's all fucked up. They would fuck that up too, though. But
I would eat anything. He would eat anything.
They're trying to make gumbo, and they're getting top ramen. What's really happening. Like it's
Texas are getting gambo.
But that's what it is, Frankie. It's so many different recipes happening at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like, let's build through the draft, okay, but let's also.
In their defense, I don't think anyone in that building is saying that.
I mean, but they're doing a decent job of it, right? Like, but they also don't prioritize. Like, if you're that good at drafting, then I don't like taking or losing on purpose. Then maybe take and lose on purpose and get better draft picks.
Alf, I think the big issue with them is that they don't take risks anymore. I think they just don't take personnel risk. And I agree and I disagree with them to an extent, and I'll give them a little bit of grace. I think that during the Jimmy era, they were, and I talked about this a lot. There's a lot of guys that were risks, but if you don't hit on that risk, you're done. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys were imperfect fits, and I think they have waited for the perfect guy that never becomes available. And even if that guy did become available, they took every other risk was bad. They traded a first round pick for Rozier. That ruined. If they didn't trade that first round pick for Terry Rozier, I guarantee you they have Kevin Durant, because they would send an extra pick. Like,
that's the key here, G. The price for Kevin Durant wasn't too high. It was too high for us.
It was too high for, like, you can't rack up, like, you're at, you have a credit limit and you're almost there. Like, you can't keep going above and beyond your spending means. Like, that's what's happening to everyday fucking Americans. You know what I mean?
The thing is, they only have one pick out of the door right now. It's not like
they have two.
No. But right now for trades, they only have one pick. It's the Hornets trade that could be 27 or 28.
But they only have two tradable picks because that pick is protected.
Can you let me finish my point?
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, like, this isn't even the worst they've been. The problem is they are so reluctant to amass assets.
Yeah.
So they know they only have a certain limit to hit, because as soon as they start, they don't have much else to trade. They're not willing to get to take a step back to get some of those assets, because they only know how to build one way. This is the only way. We suck at tanking. We were bad one time, so we can't do it ever again. But we can miss trade after trade after trade after trade after trade, and we're gonna still keep trying to trade. It's fucking insanity.
But you know what the problem is? They suck at tanking because they got Beasley, which consensus number 2 pick,
and it didn't hurt them.
They kind of tanked for,
and not even that. You still strategized for 2 years to make sure every current contract was off the books by 2010. They did all the right things for 2 years, whether Beasley worked or not. And you're right, Frankie, it never hurt them. But they actually had a plan. Like, if you were watching the way they signed players in 2008 and 2009, you knew they were going for something big in 2010. Yeah. Right now, watching what they're doing, what the fuck is the plan?
Yeah. It's just that, man. Like, they don't have the patience for a rebuild anymore. For, like, even a step back in a couple directions. Like, they missing on a draft pick, it's gonna happen. It's not. I don't. We have our discussions about the crapshoot and stuff, but you are gonna miss no matter what, because something happens, injuries, all that stuff. But it doesn't kill you. You can bounce back. If you sign a bad contract, you make a bad trade, it can hurt you really bad because you got to pay off stuff, and that's what they consistently been doing. But also, Frank, paying off those picks.
If you have one pick every 2 years,
yeah,
and you can't trade them,
yeah,
like this, then yes, the draft become crucial, right?
Yeah,
but like you have done, and here's the thing, like I remember like 21, 22. I would argue with people all the time, like, trade Duncan for a second round pick before you have to pay him. And I was like, they're in the middle of trying to compete. Shut up. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, right?
Yeah.
But that's when you were trying to compete. You still felt you had a contender. As soon as, like, we all knew that there was a lot of fool's gold in that last finals run. You don't get Dame, and then they just fucking stood still, did nothing, right? And I don't want to keep rehashing this shit. But, like, that's the difference between then and now. Like, right now, you are not a contender. All you have is a bunch of expensive-ass fucking pieces that might garner you some assets from somewhere else so you can finally have enough draft picks, enough assets, enough capital to actually make a move. Yeah. But right now, you're still trying to piecemeal this shit together with what bullshit you got. You don't got nothing. Yeah. You don't have enough to make a serious move. Because even let's say you said, okay, we are going to do this. We're going to give up Jovic, 2 first-round picks, and whatever for KD. I don't fuck about Jovic. I like the kid, but it's not a big deal. Spo never plays him, to Frankie's point, right? But after that, you're still not good enough. And now you have nothing else to make a move with. Nothing. You can't make another move. And KD is not a 3-year project. You have to make another move this summer, and you have nothing to make another move with.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The war chest
like,
is empty.
That was my whole thing with getting him. That like, I think that he improves you, but I don't think he improves you enough that you can't. You need like 2 more moves. I don't even think you could just do 1. I think you need 2. They have no wiggle room in the cap. I don't even think they have access to their. They can't even use their full MLE. They have like a lot of different hurdles for them to kind of to really build the team the way that they should. And I know that the East is pretty open, especially with all the injuries now, but they're just not this team was not good last year. And I don't care. I believe in Bam, and I don't believe in anybody else on this team. And I think anybody else who says that's a liar. And I think if Atlanta fans were to tell you if we add Kevin Durant, we would be contenders, I think we would all laugh at them. Because I don't think that Atlanta, who, by the way, has a guy that fits better with Durant, at least on offense, than anybody that we have. I don't think Atlanta becomes a contender with Kevin Durant. I don't. And we are at that level.
Nobody who was in the play-in tournament needs Kevin Durant.
Like I guess that's my thing. And maybe fans will be like, well, Bam and Hero are good and Duncan's good. And it's like, well, yeah, every team has like guys that are good.
Right.
But like their offense was so bad that I don't think that just adding Durant is going to fix it. And we can get into the minutia of that, but that's kind of
we just saw in this NBA Finals that the time of specialists is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Like Nembhard is a fucking beast defender, and he gets buckets. Naismith, all these guys, like they just TJ McConnell defense.
You need depth,
dude. Miles Turner, you know what I mean? Like a real 2-way center. Like all those guys are like really, really, really good on both ends.
And I also think the East is wide open is kind of like a little flawed to me because if they would have contended, but personally, I'm tired of getting to the finals, getting smacked in the fucking finals. Like I want a realistic, like if you're gonna build a contender, like build a real fucking contender to win a championship. Like I'm sorry, that 23 run. They even fully healthy, I don't think they fucking had a chance.
No,
because that was fool's gold.
Not against
like
Denver.
you said.
Not against Denver. And they could have made it a better series.
They could have made it interesting.
You know what, Frankie? I'm even okay with them getting to the finals. This team with KD doesn't get to the finals.
I agree.
This team with KD is a second round out, maybe a conference finals.
Oh, the problem is, and I don't think people understand, because I put the teams, like, which teams are they better than? Are they better than the Knicks? Are they better than the Celtics without Tatum? Are they better than the Magic? Are they better than the Pistons? Right? And like some of those are maybe a toss-up. Maybe I don't think so. But those are the teams you play in the first round. Yeah. And you're not playing the teams.
Somebody in the chat,
a home seed.
Somebody in chat just pointed this out. Asking Tyler and Kevin Durant to have a full healthy season is crazy. At 37 years old, Kevin Durant wasn't playing 70 games next year. So now
he's only played more than 65 games once in the last like 5 years.
Okay, so what are we talking about? So we're the same team that was like, oh, we need Jimmy or we're going to stay in the play-in. You bring in 37-year-old Kevin Durant, and that's going to be the answer?
Also, if he gets banged up for a series, has to miss the rest of the series, you're banking on the rest of this team to hold off until
you're back to getting skull fucked by the Cavs again. Like, what are we doing?
And like you saw how far, like you're not beating Cleveland. Kevin Durant added to that. You're not beating Cleveland.
Alf, what did you say? You would only lose by 25?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Kevin Durant's 25 points. Okay, and somebody's like, oh, the best was, and I love John Jablonka for this. Somebody was like, well, when you score, you get to set up your defense better. And John Jablonka pointed out their defensive rating after scoring was like 146. Oh, they can set up their half-court defense.
Yeah, dude.
So they get fucking – so, and not to mention, whoever Kevin Durant's replacing in the lineup was probably a better defender.
Yeah.
At this point, because KD – and by the way, like, I think it's also going to be diminishing. KD's going to be a little bit worse than a little bit or whatever worse than he was last year.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, it goes fast. He's 37. Like, not everybody's LeBron. And maybe he and LeBron could be exceptions. He could play at a high level until he's 40.
But LeBron still gets to the rim. KD does not.
He doesn't.
And this team does not need another jump shooter. It needs somebody. And that's, I feel so
and
bad
boy,
because I love KD.
Yeah.
I love KD.
Yeah.
But like, we don't need KD.
I would love to be in a position to just say, yeah, go all in. Let's add fucking KD.
Dude,
this would be fun.
If this was like a better team, then yeah. I think KD will help Houston. I think KD could help most teams in the league. I even think KD
Houston
would make
got rid
more
of their
sense.
biggest problem. He got KD.
Yeah.
Like they don't have what they need is a creator that creates rotation and rim pressure. And everybody's gonna see like Kevin Durant's a scorer, and he will. He's gonna get points. He's gonna make guys a little bit better around him.
Yeah.
You need something a little bit, and it's about fit. I think we just saw Indiana make the finals. They are bigger than the sum of their parts. I think we all know that, right?
I think
like
adding KD to Jimmy, even this past year would have been a great.
Imagine
move.
if they added KD instead of Rozier, for example.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that to me is like, okay, like you have like a shell of something that makes sense. I just think adding Durant to this,
you know what Durant is?
Aging.
I don't know if you guys go on Zillow. I go on Zillow. I always look around South Florida because my wife wants to move back.
I own a house. I'm good.
My wife wants to move back, and I'm like, no, I'm not moving back to South Florida. It's insane.
And
then like I will show her a house in Miami Lakes that I'm pretty sure is a crack house, but it has a brand new kitchen.
At Alf 305? Wait a second.
Yeah, no,
Miami
brand new kitchen, and I'm telling you from the out, doesn't have a garage, like doesn't have grass, like, but the kitchen is fucking immaculate. But it also like backs up into the bathroom, like. That is what Kevin Durant is on this Miami Heat team.
Kitchen
like,
fumed up.
You don't need a kitchen. You don't need a new kitchen. You need to tear down that fucking house and start over. Bam, that foundation, solid. Keep that. And honestly, if Bam says he wants to go, bye, Bam. Like you owe him that much. This whole offseason should be a conversation with Bam Adebayo.
Miami Lakes would not be safe for you.
I also think Alf.
I'm good wherever. Don't worry about me.
Alf, I also think it needs to be a conversation with Spo, because Spo has to, like, if you're gonna go youth, Spo has to like buy in, and like Spo has never had a rebuild year. Like, let the kids play through mistakes. We'll see what happens here since he's been coach.
Yeah, he has.
What year?
Josh and Justice years, especially the one after. Yeah.
No,
Justice only started playing point guard because everybody got fucking hurt.
Yeah, remember how much we were begging for them to play? Like he had to be forced to play Justice Winslow.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean,
he was playing Justice. He just forced him to play point guard. But yeah,
he was like, "Hey, Justice, what's the worst thing you do on offense? Let's put you
stand in the corner.
Yeah, go stand in the corner."
And but
that was because they were stuck too. Because they fucking
still believe
they fucking wasted. They were like, we're gonna let Wade walk for flexibility, and 1 year later they were like, you know what? Fuck flexibility. Let's run it back with all these guys for 4 years. But besides that, it's just they need to really buy in and do something. Do something. Like, I think fans like would believe and understand if they went a direction, if they went all in and they were trying something. But like you're doing all this shit, you're getting all these conversations. I think they're just so fucking satisfied with being in the conversation. Because like the Dame, like I'm gonna bring it up because to make my point. But the Dame Lillard trade, where they said they spent the whole fucking offseason coming off a fluky finals run, and then they said we didn't even like Dame that much. We didn't even. He wasn't even our favorite. Drew Holiday, we would like that guy, but not Dame. Not Dame. Why, if Dame wasn't a big fucking deal? Why'd you spend your whole summer? Why didn't you pivot to Plan B? Where's the fucking Plan B?
As soon as Cronin wasn't playing ball, fuck you. Well, if you don't like him that much, but like stop with the hubris and stop.
But that's the thing with them is like they don't. It's what I said earlier. Like they don't take risks if it's not for the perfect guy, and it has to be on their terms.
But listen, Dame, and I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people are like, well, Dame got hurt the next year. What? Dame was the perfect guy to add to that team.
Well, no, that's the one. I don't blame them for that one. I think that those people were just absolutely
they spit on them. They said, you're gonna do our deal our way.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they're like, why won't they fucking talk to us?
Yeah, listen, you walk in to my establishment and start talking to me like I'm some kind of bitch. I'm not gonna deal with you. They walked in with their dick swinging, and it was and Cronin, yeah, he's an asshole. He fucked over Dame, fucked over his own franchise. Yeah. But at the same time, a lot of times we talk about the Dame package. It's still not even known if they offered all that shit.
Yeah.
They should have thrown the fucking house at Dame because he was the right guy at the time. Whether injured or not, it was the right fucking move to make. but they didn't do it. Carlos Tiana blames Ethan. Like, listen, Miami media was some dickheads about that. I don't really know how much that influenced shit, but honestly, a weird motherfucker like Cronin probably did. But there was so much hubris and arrogance around that.
Yeah.
Like, you did not treat them like another professional franchise, and you got fucked. And then you had no plan B. Your plan B was Thomas Bryant and Josh Richardson.
Thomas Bryant played in the finals.
That's a champion right there.
That's an almost champion.
But no, it's just
he won with the Nuggets.
Oh, that's right, he won.
He beat us.
That's right.
Dude's a
Didn't he win with the
champion.
Lakers too?
No, he went. That was after. He was on the block when LeBron scored the
yes.
number one all time points.
Incredible moment.
It's to the, and I said this in our chat the other day, G. I've never been so down on this team. Because I always used to think no matter what happened, the franchise, the front office, there was a plan. I trusted Riley. I trusted Spo. I trusted the Arisons. I trusted Andy. I trusted this front office earned my trust over years. They have completely lost my trust. Like, completely lost my trust. Tiffany Meek says he tried to take their cornbread. Yeah, they did.
That's topical. That's fucking topical.
They really did try to bitch them up. But listen, I've never been so down on this team. And I will sit here and scream at the top of my lungs, like, rebuild. You should be sellers, not buyers. This is not a buying team. This is a selling team. But I know they won't do it, G. I know they won't.
That's my thing. It's like I am withholding my criticism of them until I see what the plan is this offseason. I'm not.
No, fuck that. Why would you give them the benefit of the doubt?
They don't deserve it, but I will. I will be responsible, and I will. Like, if they're legitimately like buyers, I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna rip them. I think
they just went out and tried to buy.
Yeah, they did, but
they showed up at the dealership with a 550 credit score. And they said $3 for a down payment.
I just want them.
They said, "Would you take a coupon?"
Yeah, literally. And I said this before. I want them to sell.
Frankie, they were underwater on their own lease, try to get equity.
Duncan Robinson, I love you. Should not be here next season. Haywood Highsmith.
They're like, I owe $12,000 on this Dodge Charger. What can you do for me? Trying to get a fucking old Corvette.
It's got one hubcap on it.
Got a ton of miles.
I signed a 96-month 96 month with a 12% APR. Can you help me out?
The thing about the Heat that annoys me, the front office is like, they're like, we don't know another way. Like, nobody is fucking tying your hands. The fucking local media doesn't even pressure you. They give you the benefit of the doubt when you don't fucking deserve it. They, like, every fucking mistake you made, every time you miss on somebody, it's always the other team's fault. It's always Cronin's fault. It's always Trey Young. Why'd they win the play-in? Trey Young should have played worse. That's the fucking excuses we get from the local media.
Like, I mean, he should have played worse.
I love Barry, but he bends with the fucking breeze. No matter what, like, oh, the Heat are front runners for KD. They never wanted him anyway. And then he goes full Brian Goins after a while and just gets fucking mad and starts talking shit. It is like the weirdest fucking thing. Like,
Barry during the Dame saga was fucking like
he
all
was the
time.
GOAT. He was the GOAT.
Can we talk about Goins' tweet?
Dude, Brian had the most out-of-pocket tweet I've ever seen in my life.
Nigga wish death on somebody.
Brian Goins said, as long as Pat Riley is alive, the Heat will never improve. What did he mean by that?
And then he goes onto the Heat Beat Twitter account for the first time all season, quote tweets it with the echoing emoji.
That shit sounds like a threat.
That's what I was saying. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
We should have tagged the FBI on that bitch.
Dude, that was crazy.
Carl Tiana in the chest, like, credentials removed. Yeah, why don't we have credentials? Fucking Brian Goins just threatening Pat Riley with murder.
Dude, you go to Brian's page and it's all he's just seething anger.
Oh,
and then it's some Panthers retweets.
He's gonna be so afraid when Alonzo Mourning knocks on his door.
Yeah, and you know what's funniest thing is, you know how Brian is such a cap guy, this, that, and the third. He would be the first one losing his shit, and this is what I tell everybody. Like, and I know I always use Anthony Edwards because he's the one. He's the guy I think about. Like, we're never gonna. Yeah, look at. Please retire.
The actual thing is, Brian said, we're never gonna get anyone as long as Pat Riley is still alive. Pat Riley could not be on the team anymore and still be alive. And Brian would, and the fact that shit is 350 likes is hilarious.
Yeah, that's the thing you just pointed out. It's funny. Like, even if Pat Riley doesn't work for the Heat anymore,
that's what is funny. It's like, as long as he's alive.
Brian said, as long as this nigga is drawing breath.
I just noticed he changed his name to "Please Retire, Pat Riley." That's a real threat.
He needed the clarity. He needed the chat's agreeing with him. People agree with him.
Goins knows.
No, but like, damn, he that threw me off my square. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about.
That shit was so funny. I'm sorry. It's like the funniest thing he tweeted in forever.
No, okay. So, like, let's say this in 2 years, a Spider or an Anthony Edwards ass out. And the Heat only have one fucking pick to trade because they spent 2 on fucking Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was hurt the first week of the fucking 2026 season. And, like, it's just because it's going to be it would have been
even be charitable. They get to the conference finals twice and don't make the finals. Let's be charitable.
And then and then all of a sudden a star wants out, the Heat's on their list. And once again, you don't have what it takes to get the star.
And then the fans get mad at the Heat.
Well, no, they should be mad at the fucking Heat. But they also should be mad at themselves.
But the same people that wanted Durant are going to get mad at them for not having stuff later.
You motherfuckers that were twerking for the fucking Terry trade on my fucking timeline like fucking idiots. And I fucking said, what the fuck? Whoa, you guys, like, we should have did this because Kyle Lowry flicked off a fucking reporter. And people are like, you don't understand. Terry's like Dame, almost. They don't have similar numbers. Yeah. You fuckers.
That's Bill Simmons' ass take.
Oh my god,
they should have taken Kyle's credentials. Is what
you fuckers. You hated Kyle Lowry so much because he was fat and didn't fucking wasn't nice to the media, and you fucking sat there and you tried to convince me who I know what Terry Rozier fucking is. Niggas Kemba Walker with a fucking better PR agent. Like, he is like, he ain't him. But you guys try to convince me he was the missing fucking piece. Like, even Spo sat there in the summer was like, oh, I don't know why people said Terry and fucking Tyler can't play together. Because they both can't play defense and Terry's trash, bro. What are we talking about? Like, you don't ever trust the fucking Charlotte Hornet. Like, and you say motherfuckers that were out here twerking on the fucking timeline, super fucking happy because Kyle Lowry was gone, and we landed Terry motherfucking Rozier for a first round fucking draft pick. The same first round fucking draft pick that could have just got you fucking Kevin Durant. But at some point, you just got to stop doing dumb shit and just sit back and move back in with your parents. Stop paying a fucking exorbitant rent and fucking build up some money for down payment on a goddamn house and be a grown-up, Pat Riley. Sorry.
I'm crying. I was wondering, remember how what that statement you made about who thought Terry and Tyler couldn't work? And it reminded me about the preseason, how they only played that lineup together. They went hockey subs. I was like, I wonder like what they did, like how did they play? I looked it up. Terry averaged 7 points on 9 attempts. He shot 34% from field, 13% from 3, 50% from the line. This was from the start.
And these motherfuckers like, we got something. And you know what the funny thing is about the preseason? And I remember saying this. Like, their offense looked decent in the preseason, and they were getting like fucking 15 steals a game. And I was like, if the plan is to be the greatest steals team of all time and gain like 15 extra possessions a game, this could work.
I mean, it worked for the Thunder.
Yeah, with a bunch of fucking athletes. We had fucking
with Lou Dort.
Yeah, we don't have Lou Dort on this goddamn team.
We got Duncan Robinson. The best we can do is Duncan Robinson. Same kind of player.
He's off the table.
You fuckers, man, with the fucking Terry trade.
Alf, you know, people were like,
they would have just given Caleb so much money.
Alf, I got so much shit for saying I didn't want Durant on the timeline, and people were like, "You wanted fucking Kyle Lowry, but not Kevin Durant."
Yeah, the guy who helped us to a 1 seed.
Bro, not even that. The situations were so different. That team was like contending. That team was like trying to win like something bigger. That team was better. That team had been to the finals recently. The core was still intact. Like
Jimmy was only 32,
and they were missing. They were missing a point guard.
Yeah, because Goran was cooked. Goran never was good after that, and they traded Goran and Precious Achiuwa, who's still not good.
No, couldn't get no minutes in the conference finals.
Like he's just not good. Like, and the fact that everybody was like so like it was like this guy. I was like, bro, that's I think what fans aren't getting. It's like this team and that team were in two different lunar phases. This team should be selling and like
selling hard.
We're gonna go into this summer. We have the draft on Wednesday. Well, Frankie, me, we're all gonna cover it. He's gonna cover it. But after that, I'll be there.
You're not invited, buddy.
Oh, well,
this is our show.
Never mind. Day off, I guess. Then they, the Heat are gonna go into this offseason and they have to be selling because they're not closed. They're not closed.
But they won't sell.
Alf, what's frustrating about that is that there's actually a roadmap for a pretty soft landing after you already fucked up the Jimmy trade. The fact that they still have a way to get out of this, if they just do the thing that they never do. We've said this. Duncan Robinson is going to have value. Duncan Robinson's on a non-guaranteed contract. He's valuable. Haywood Highsmith.
Tiffany Neese in the chat says Terry sells Lucy's.
I didn't see that. You're killing me. They have Tyler Hero who can get you some stuff. I don't think Tyler Hero is going to fetch you what Aaron Bain got you, but he'll get you.
Who Aaron Bain? Who's that?
I'm sorry. Desmond Bain.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Especially because he is racist.
Is Aaron Bain racist?
Who is Aaron Bain?
He was like a backup center.
Like Sun Center.
Oh, I remember. Arian Bain.
Yeah, exactly.
What was his name? Arian Bain. They have
That's
guys.
The name of the pod.
They have guys that they can move that still have a year left on their contract. That are valuable. And
they have so many fucking guys by the trade deadline. They literally could have like fucking 7 picks.
Alf, it's not.
And I'm not even talking about giving up Bam.
They don't even need first because this guy just went for fucking a bunch of seconds. They don't have second round picks.
We talked about this on the last pod we did, G and Frankie. I think you would agree. By the trade deadline,
would you trade Highsmith for 3 seconds?
Yeah. I trade him for 1 second. If you're not going to keep him, who gives a fuck?
Frankie, somebody gonna need a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Dunk it on that fucking fantastic contract at this point.
Are you kidding me? Denver would salivate at that.
Why not?
Orlando, like they have guys, like those 2 guys have value. I think Tyler, you can get something for him. I don't care what anybody fucking
Why
says.
aren't you calling Detroit and be like, what would you give us for Tyler Hero?
You dude, or Duncan, or any of these guys.
Or like you package Tyler and Duncan together.
You have the salary later because you have Wiggins to trade whenever you want later with the picks that you're gonna amass.
We could have took KCP.
And by the way, you play Jovic, and if Jovic is not in your future, then you fucking trade him too. Because you've already committed to Ware as a starter with Bam. That leaves one more front court spot, and they don't seem very comfortable playing Jovic in that giant lineup. And if he doesn't feel like your future and whatever, you see what you can get for him.
That was the best 30 seconds of the season.
I was gonna say that was the funnest game
I
of the
want
season.
it, but they don't seem to.
That was the same night they banished Jimmy. That they had a fucking double overtime, whatever it was with Orlando, and all that lineup. Fucking
that shit was awesome.
Them. That was awesome. And then Spo said, "Not another goddamn second." But
yeah, and honestly, like Spo skates on this, and I feel like I was screaming this shit all last year. Last year was Spo's worst season, in my opinion. And Spo skates on this shit so fucking much. Like it's like there's no reason for if you look at their personnel. If it was me, I would start if everything stays the same. Ware, Jovic, Bam, Wiggins, and Tyler. Just be big as fuck. Have some kind of goddamn identity. Like put Wiggins at the 2. Like he can guard 2s. Like
Even if he can't, you got fucking 3'6'9" and above guys.
Or you're gonna put fucking Duncan Robinson out there who can't guard either. So like why not? And bring Davion off the bench for that spark. Like there are ways to like actually make this team entertaining and something fun to watch. They didn't do any of that. It was like a bunch of Kyle Andersons and Alec Burks,
because they were trying to get make the pick convey. That's fine. That was the main goal.
If that's the case, then you wanted this pick. You really wanted this pick. Be bad. You know what I mean? Like, this is the time. You have the pick that you wanted. Take a lean year. Trading these guys that I just like kind of back to the whole the broader point. You have these guys that will get you something in return. And in return, you get a little bit worse. You take a lean year, bro. You don't got to be the worst team in the league. You're going to be pretty bad if you just play Bam and Wiggins and all these young guys a lot. They're going to have to learn. It's going to be bad. Hey, Bam, average 25. Can you do it? Well, I don't know. Let's see if you can. And you take the Alf. You take the fucking lean year. You get a high pick. You amass all these other things. And at that point, you can you are in a place where you have assets, you have young players, you have salary off your books, and all of a sudden, there's a direction, there's a plan.
Gee, by 2020, by the summer of 2026, this shit could be fucking. No, I'm sorry. By summer of 2027, they could be so fucking
because if
golden.
that pick conveys in 2027, now you have all your fucking picks and all those young guys and all that shit you traded for. Like there is a light in 2 years at the end of the tunnel. Like,
but they're so afraid of losing this fan base, and I'm like, bro, you lost them.
Yeah,
you've already lost them.
Alf, 2 years.
There is not. I don't care.
2 fucking years. The Thunder were bad for 2 years. Like you don't have to be. Like you don't have to be the Sixers.
It's Major Passons and Sean Rochester are the only fucking people left.
And Leif.
Everybody else, I don't care what.
Oh, even Leif is like pretty.
Is Leif out?
Leif is pretty out.
I don't care.
Leif is the strongest soldier.
I know.
If you're on the side of win now and get Kevin Durant, you're pissed. If you're on the side of blow this shit up, you're fucking pissed. If you're on the side of like stand pat, you're just a fucking weirdo, and there's just no reaching you. Like you got that 30%. That's like pure MAGA. Like you got that delusional ass part of the fucking fan base. Like you ain't gonna ever reach them. Like if you bomb Iran, they're like fuck Iran. If you don't bomb Iran, like they're like fuck. Why would you ever bomb Iran?
It's also that they've been. It's not even just that they've been average or mediocre. They're boring. They're fucking horrible to watch.
Fuck.
That's why this team is so fucking uninteresting too. Nobody wants to watch this team. We watch every fucking game, and I can tell you there was very few games we had fun watching them. That like
the Ware Jovic Bam lineup, I had a fantastic time.
That was January 23rd.
Oh, best night of my life.
And then they were like, you know what?
Outside of my baby being born.
After that, they were like,
came back to
slow-mo, give us. Fucking slow-mo, can you give us 15 good minutes?
Yeah. Fucking slow-mo. Fuck you.
Hey, that's my guy.
Fuck off.
That's my guy.
Today I was talking to I was going back and forth with Will Manso. He's like, well, that's not the Heat's way to take a step back. And I'm like, fuck you talking about?
Name drop.
The last 2 times, look at me, Louis. The last 2 times the Heat have taken a step back for 2 years resulted in a title.
It's just Alf. The thing
it's Frankie, literally fucking proven.
Frankie, I know that you love this. We're speaking where's Moose? We're speaking your language. It's you don't have to take that much of a step back.
Right.
And by the way, when all these teams are because if the Heat think the East is weak, I guarantee you all those other teams think the East is up for grabs. And guess what they're going to be doing? Buying aggressively, and while all those other teams
you to convince a motherfucker they are Tyler
even if they don't, even if only West teams buy your stuff, all those teams are depleting their future. Guess what's going to be really easy? You're going to come. That's the things you have to plan for. You cannot don't get in an arms race that you're not going to win. But
bro, I'm a salesperson. I would be on the phone talking to everybody who thought it was close about what Tyler Hero can do for you. I'm like, what bad contracts do you have that are up in 2026, 2027? Dude, give me that. Like, bro, I would have took KCP in a second for 4 fucking first-round picks. You out of your goddamn mind? Like I would be like, what albatross fucking contract don't you want?
Be a facilitator.
And by the way, maybe you'll have the choice to set the extension figure for Tyler. I don't know if that's attractive or not to some teams, but somebody's gonna pay him. You could be that lucky team.
What you want me to do? You want me to extend him for this much? I got you, and then I'm gonna trade it. Like I don't know how all that shit works with cap
all these teams are gonna be so desperate. There's a vacuum in the East right now. The Indiana Pacers are not gonna be the same next year.
And there's a fake vacuum in the East.
It's a fake vacuum, but all these teams believe
because
Cleveland's gonna get whooped in the finals.
Cleveland's that's the other thing. But whatever. Like all these other teams are gonna be like, well, we can do it, and they're gonna try to bolster their weaponry. Their arsenal.
Yeah,
like it's so funny. Like people like ask me, "Where? Oh, you didn't want KD. Who do you pivot to? Nobody, motherfucker.
Nobody. No DeMar. No, none of this.
I want to
pivot. Listen, I want to watch Bam try to score 25 a game, and it's gonna be bad, and it's gonna be ugly.
And
we're gonna be here.
God, if you believe in these young pieces, though, like also get them pieces that fit. Like
sign Davion,
stop
sign
fucking
Bam.
having these guys fucking play out of position, out of their strengths all the goddamn time.
What's Devin Carter? He's a point guard, right?
Yeah.
See, that's the one move that I see on the timeline getting floated around, and we could talk about that a little bit.
He's like a more of a combo guard. Like he's not. You don't want him running like leading your whole offense. He's like Derek White. Like he's like a winning player, gonna play great defense, gonna make some fun highlight plays.
Right now, I'd be amassing those motherfuckers.
Exactly, Davion Mitchell,
the Devin Carters, and if like honestly, right now, I don't give a fuck about the 20th pick in this year's draft. If you trade that for Devin Carter and Malik Monk, like what's being floated around right now, like to me, that is a fantastic fucking trade.
You do that, dude.
Yeah.
You do that.
Those are the kind of because then Malik Monk, you can convince a motherfucker that you are Malik Monk away at the trade deadline.
Exactly.
And then you just keep Devin Carter, you keep the Davion Mitchells, you keep the Bam Adebayos. You start building up a foundation for when Spider's like done with Cleveland, for when Anthony Edwards is done with Minnesota. Listen, I don't think Giannis is getting traded this summer. Maybe Giannis sticks around and then next summer he gets traded, or the summer after that. And if you get a couple extra picks and now you go to Milwaukee and you say, I got Andrew Wiggins 5 first-round picks and so blah, 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 and you can add it to a team that you have a foundation to. Like that's the whole idea now, like, oh, they're pivoting to Giannis. I'm like, you motherfuckers are delusional at this point.
They can't even get Giancarlo.
I'm pivoting to Dua Lipa.
Yeah,
I love you, babe. I'm kidding.
I would never say anything like that because I'm happily married. Apparently, G's not happy in his relationship.
No, I always say I go to my girlfriend. I only have eyes for you and Dua Lipa.
G's girlfriend just heard her name in trade conversations.
Ooh.
But also, Alf, you talked about the rebuilds earlier.
G's girlfriend told her name about a Woj tweet.
I'm trying to save G. I'm sorry, trying to save me.
She's gonna set my house on fire.
Right now, G's girlfriend's like, "Who the fuck is Shams?" Like, what the
Locked on G's gonna fucking drop a pod.
G is so uncomfortable right now.
Save me.
He's like, don't let her watch this one fucking episode.
She might be. I hope, babe. I hope you're not watching.
The best part is I don't know who Dua Lipa is. That's the best part.
You know who
I've heard the words put together.
That's the kind of woman that used to go to war over.
Oh, okay.
Let's put it that way.
I thought that was a language learning app.
But Alf, you talked about the two rebuilds. Both of those were against their fucking will. Because it was Zoe had to almost die, and fucking Dwayne and that Dwayne
Chris Bosh had to almost die.
Yeah, Chris Bosh almost died. Like they never do it on purpose. It's like, oh fuck, we got to do it now.
All right, who's gonna step up? Who's gonna step up on this team? And
Brian already has
Brian. Be money.
Brian's trying to kill motherfuckers already.
This man has a plan.
I'm gonna kill Pat. I'm gonna kill Pat Riley.
I got your cap right here.
Jesus, Brian. God damn.
Somebody needs to do the New Jack City Wesley Snipes with Brian Goins' face.
Is that from New Jack City? I never knew what that was from.
Yeah.
No, it's from Major League.
Two Americas.
Dua Lipa.
It's my goat, bro.
They just have to fucking do something, man. Like nobody's pressuring them. They don't have to fucking do anything. The owner doesn't care. Fucking Nick Harrison is in the conversations in the committee or whatever the fuck they call it. Like they just have to fucking start making decisions as a unit. We're gonna go as a unit. This is the one thing we have to decide everything on.
When do you like? My thing
is this dog is snoring like that.
That's my dog. You know.
Oh my god, that's so
every
loud.
Fucking time. I can't even get.
I thought it was Pat Riley.
Oh, he sleep? How do I get? Where is that fucking dog?
This is how Pat does trade conversations.
This is how I imagine that Pat works a Zoom call.
Nyla,
oh.
Nyla, wake up. Nyla, are you alive?
Well, she's alive. I tell you that.
Nyla,
she is comfy,
dude. That was the loudest story I've ever heard. Oh my god. She went right back to sleep. I just saw her.
Yeah, she does.
Incredible work. Yeah, chat's like let her sleep. Yeah, let her cook. It's her bedtime.
Let her sleep. She sleeps 23 hours a day. She'll be fucking okay.
Just like Pat Riley.
Hangover time will never come back while she's alive. Hangover time will be back next year, by the way.
Whoa.
She's on her last legs. I love her.
Whoa.
Aw.
It's rough, bro.
Like,
she's having a rough time of it.
Well,
Jesus. Chad says, I thought he was saying his dog's name was 9/11.
That's the
Speaking of 9/11, Kevin Durant was the first tower. DeMar DeRozan will be the second.
I was going to say 9/11. That's the Heat's front office.
That's okay. Real quick.
Last time they were awake.
We've had like 17 hard outs that we could have taken. I want to close out with something, a little bit of final talk. Frankie, we were talking in the chat the other day. Indy is, and I agree with this. Bill Simmons said this on his podcast with Zach Lowe. Indy's going to be the thing that's remembered. Nobody gives a shit about the Thunder, the most auraless championship. I thought the Celtics championship had no aura. We have managed to top it. What a lame ass celebration, and just nobody gives a shit, and everybody's just kind of dispersed and went home. And I thought they accurately said on the podcast, they're like, I'm going to remember the Indiana Pacers more than the Thunder for this playoff run. And I think everybody will feel that way. And Frankie, you said, you asked a pretty good question. Why is everybody in love with this Pacers run? And nobody ever cared about the Heat run in any way in the stratosphere that they care about this Pacer run.
I was thinking about it a little bit more. I think the only thing that can separate it, two things that can separate it, is Indy was more aesthetically pleasing offensively, and they actually gave the finals team a run for their money. I think that's the biggest thing that separates it, and I think that's a fair point. But I feel like some of those Heat runs were besides the Zach Lowe's, nobody the general public.
I gotta be honest with you, Zach was not giving us love. And I love Zach, and I listen.
I could be wrong.
I listen every pod. I mean, there were large swatches of time. When they beat the Bucks, they talked more about the Bucks' demise. They didn't talk about much about.
I disagree with both of you guys right now.
Really,
playoff Jimmy became fucking NBA lore because of what the Heat did in those. Not just the two finals run, even the ECF run. Now, did everyone love the Heat? They love the Pacers. The Pacers are just. Because it's Indiana, there's corn, there's Middle America, nothing's
there's
expected
a bunch of TJ McConnell.
There's nothing flashy about that team unless you actually watch them play. And that was the one thing. A lot of people finally saw them play. This is fun as fuck. I legitimately became a Pacers fan over the course of it. I love that fucking team.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to talk shit about Siakam all day with his crazy African spin moves. But the Heat run, man, Frankie, you can laugh at that.
No, I was laughing at the comments.
Jimmy became a legend because of those 3 playoff runs. He's an absolute legend. He is going to the Hall of Fame for the 3 playoff runs with the Miami Heat, with the bubble, the ECF, and then against Denver. He's going to the Hall of Fame because of that. Like everyone talked about the Heat playoff devil magic and blah, blah. I think you guys are not. I think we are doing the fan thing where we're like, we get no respect. Man, people like they still talk about the devil magic and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but I think they like it's not like fondly like that. Like they talk about the devil magic, the power of friendship and stuff like that, but it's not like they appreciated it in that sense. Like
I mean, because the Pacers, the Pacers are from. Listen, Pacers are from Indiana. We're from Miami. It's different. Like, but at the same time, the awe of what we did was comparable. Yeah, who the fuck is Caleb Martin? It's comparable to the awe that Martin. Indiana is receiving, and the fact that we did it 3 different times, right? Yeah. Man, like I'm telling like, you guys, man, Jimmy is Jimmy because of that shit. Like honestly, maybe the Heat didn't get that love, but also the Heat are just known for this. Oh, they can turn trash into fucking gold. Like all that shit comes from the fact that Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent was whooping niggas' asses. Like that shit. Like I don't know. I know where you guys are coming from, but I do think it's a little myopic view of like inside. Like we never felt like we got that love. But I probably bet you could talk to some Indiana Pacers fans who don't feel like they got the requisite amount of love for what they did. And also the fucking game winners from Tyrese Halliburton, all timers. Yeah, he had like one in every series. Like nobody's ever done that shit. Like they just did shit that nobody's ever done. So did the Heat, going from play into the finals and all that. They did a lot of great things too, and I think they got their respect for it. But some of the shit that Hallie did, the Pacers did, the comebacks, like it's I think it's on the same level as the Heat, but it's a different feel. Like there was just so much drama and
I just think about like stuff like in the moment where it was like Celtics win how many quarters, this shit. Like it was never like they were on equal playing fields despite what the court was on court was showing. Like they were trying to find ways to discredit. Somebody in the chat mentioned the Heat just got hot shooting. These nobodies are playing way up to their standards. And
Franky,
like
they were right.
No, they were right, but it was still like, damn, like let's appreciate them.
Outside of Max Strus.
Like this is a Cinderella run.
Let's and they were right. They were right. They were fucking right. Outside of Max Strus, and who Max has been fucking inconsistent as shit.
Oh yeah.
But like Kendrick Nunn, Gabe Vincent, like Caleb Martin, these guys ain't did shit anywhere else. Gabe Vincent didn't do shit for us half the goddamn time. Like they were right. Like they were literally fucking right. Like
they were.
It was fluky. It was fucking like. Listen, I go back. I used to fight people on the fucking fluke bubble shit, the bubble frauds or whatever. The most fraudulent thing about the bubble, there's 2 things: Anthony Davis actually making it through an entire playoffs, and Goran Dragic making it all the way to the fucking finals.
Yeah.
If Goran Dragic didn't get 3 months off in the middle of the goddamn season, he would have never looked like that in the playoffs. He was breaking down already. He just got a 3-month fucking off season in the middle of the goddamn playoff, at the middle of the season. But
that's fair.
That's sad. I feel bad. Like, damn, motherfuckers was right about us.
And you know what? The Heat front office said all those guys untouchable.
Yeah, yeah. They're supposed to be smarter than us.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this is real. Yeah.
They wanted to give Caleb Martin so much money.
It's okay because DeMar DeRozan is on the way. Get ready for DeMar DeRozan. Get ready for Draft B coverage. Franky, what's the schedule? Are you on Wednesday and Thursday? Just Wednesday? What's the Draft B plan?
We got a mock draft tomorrow, 7:15 Eastern time, and then we are going to do. We're going to go live after the lotto. After the 14th selection, we'll tweet it out and we'll go live and see and react. If the Heat trade the pick or something happens before that, we'll go live right away.
Sounds good. All right, so check out all our offerings, and we'll see you. Now listen, we're off and rolling. The off season's coming. We will be on weekly again with your regular scheduled non-draft beat programming, and draft beat still has a week left in the tank. So see you guys tomorrow.